because Obamacare will steamroll over all the state laws.
So no big differences between you and Governor Romney on health care?
Well, I know what I will do. I will repeal Obamacare, because it won't matter what happened in any of the states. Obamacare will steamroll over that state law. That's the reality.
Let me ask you a question about another issue that came up last night, gay marriage. At first you suggested that you don't think that state laws that legalize gay marriage should be overturned. And there are states, both Iowa and New Hampshire, have legalized.
No, George, the question that I was asked was, if I was President of the United States, would I come into the states that have passed that legislation and advocate either for or against a state law? And as President of the United States, that would not be my role to advocate for or against a state law.
Right, but you later said that you were for a constitutional amendment. A constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage would have the effect of overturning state law.
As if, as President of the United States, I would come into a state and advocate either for or against a state law, and I said that I would not do that. I believe in the 10th Amendment, and I believe in federalism.
But you believe in a constitutional amendment which would overturn the state law?
I believe in a constitutional amendment.
How many Congress people, members of Congress, do you think are in that anti-American crowd you describe? How many Congress people you serve with? I mean, there's 435 members of Congress. How many are anti-American in the Congress right now that you serve with?
You'd have to ask them, Chris. I'm focusing on Barack Obama and the people that he's been associating with.
But do you suspect that a lot of people you serve with,
their anti-American nature?
Well, he's a United States Senator from Illinois. He's one of the people you suspect as being anti-American. How many people in the Congress of the United States do you think are anti-American? You've already suspected Barack Obama. Is he alone, or are there others? How many do you suspect of your colleagues as being anti-American?
What I would say is that the news media should do a penetrating expose and take a look. I wish they would. I wish the American media would take a great look at the views of the people in Congress and find out, are they pro-America or anti-America?
There's a movement afoot that's occurring, and part of that is this whole philosophical idea of multicultural diversity, which on the face sounds wonderful. Let's appreciate and value everyone's cultures, but not all cultures are equal.
This May, homosexual and lesbian activists who live here in Minnesota will be able to travel to Massachusetts to have their same-sex relationships declared marriages by the state of Massachusetts. If we allow this to happen, group marriage, polygamy, and things much worse may not be far behind here in Minnesota. Without this amendment, Minnesota could have gay marriage imposed on us in 2004. Edmund Burke was right when he said, all that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
Because we're running out of rich people in this country.
Yeah, we are. We are running out of rich people.
Under Obama, big evil is...
And, you know, today if you watch TV, a lot of times you'll see young people on TV and they'll say, she's hot. Or they'll say, he's hot. And what are they talking about? They're talking about the outward, about how someone looks on the outside. What does God say when he looks at you or when he looks at me? He wants to say, she's hot. He's hot. Because we are hot for him on the inside. Amen?
Global warming is something that's talked a lot about and has been for the last probably 20 years. And I remember the covers of some of our news magazines, our weekly news magazines, that said that we were coming into an ice age. That was in the 1970s, and scientists felt that we were coming into global cooling, not global warming. Then scientists said we were going into global warming, and they backed off of that and then said we were going into global cooling. Now we're back into some scientists talking for global warming. I don't think that it has been established yet as a fact that global warming is the issue of the day. And I think that at this point, one thing that we need to do is look at the science.